Nobody knew that the lines coming from Celine Marlowe's pen would one day turn into a real murder and turn her life into a nightmare. Celine Marlowe was 27 years old, a psychology student who wrote crime novels. But something had changed in recent months. Sleep disorders, panic attacks, constant restlessness. That intelligent but fragile woman had suddenly found herself alone. If you were in her situation, who would you trust? When she told her family, her mother shrugged. "It's stress, Celine. It'll pass." When she told her friends, they laughed it off. "You overthink too much." When she went to the doctor, he just gave her sleeping pills. But there was something she didn't know yet. But the most shocking part hadn't been revealed yet. The news she saw on TV that morning froze her. A murder in the city's wealthy district. Victim, businessman Robert Manning. Cause of death, poison. Celine's heart stopped. This was exactly the murder scene she had written in her novel. The coffee cup in Celine's hand was trembling. The voices echoing in her head were getting louder. With trembling fingers holding her phone, she called the police. I can provide information about this murder." When the police put the file in front of her, Celine's facial expression changed. This is exactly when everything changed. Detective Davis was examining Celine with cold stares. "Ms. Marlowe, you wrote this murder in your novel exactly like this. Only the victim's name is different, but I only wrote it because I'm a writer. Or did you commit this murder? An injustice that could happen to any of us. Being innocent isn't enough, you have to prove it." The trembling confidence in Celine's voice had now disappeared. Nobody believed her. Even her family's looks had changed. When the sparkle in Celine's eyes faded, something else began to shine. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet. When she was alone at home, Celine was going through her old notes. The details in her novel matched the real murder too much, but then she found it, a page from her diary. In her own handwriting, "Robert Manning must be killed. Poison is the quietest way." Celine was confused. Had she written this herself? When? Why? When she looked at herself in the mirror, she appeared like someone she didn't recognize. That empty expression in her eyes. As a psychology student, she knew. Dissociative identity disorder. But did she have it? Wait a minute, don't miss this detail. Celine started checking her hours. She couldn't remember anything from Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. to Thursday morning, 7 a.m., exactly the time of the murder. She ran to her diary, to her notes, to her phone. Her phone's location history shocked her. She had been near Manning's house during those hours. She carried the weight of loneliness on her shoulders. She no longer trusted even herself. When Celine answered the phone, the familiar voice froze her. "What you're seeing now is nothing." The voice on the phone was hers. But the intonation, the way of speaking was completely different. Cold, calculating, ruthless. "Hello, Celine. You finally noticed me. You. Who are you? I'm the side of you that you forgot. I'm Stella." Stella was a second personality that emerged after Celine's childhood trauma. And she was the one who killed Manning. Even her closest friend now looked at her from a distance. Was Celine really crazy? You won't believe this, but Stella could take control even when Celine was conscious. For days, months, she had planned, followed Manning, learned his weaknesses. She only had 10 minutes before the police arrived. Nobody should hear Stella's voice. "Why did you kill Manning?" "Because he was responsible for your childhood trauma." "Since you forgot, I remembered. The door was knocked. Police." Celine ran in panic, hid. But Stella was laughing. What they saw when the door opened was very different from what Celine had planned. The real truth was now coming out. Police found nobody at home, because Celine had already escaped. But nobody heard Stella's voice, because Stella had never existed. Celine had made a perfect plan. By pretending to have a psychological illness, by creating a second personality, she cleared herself. She had really killed Manning, the man who had harmed her in childhood. But nobody knew. She had fooled everyone using her psychology knowledge. The doctor, the police, her family. The biggest shock was coming now. Selene was never actually sick. She had acted for months, convinced people, used her writing talent in real life. That intelligent woman had achieved justice with her own hands. But the price was heavy. Now she was truly alone. While waiting at the airport, she called her family one last time. "Mom, I'm fine. Just forget me." As the plane took off, Selene looked back one last time. She was someone else now. The truth was never what you thought. When police searched Selene's house, they only found scattered notes and empty pill bottles. Poor girl, she really was sick, they said. The case was closed. Manning's murder went to unsolved cases, but nobody had read the last sentence Selene wrote in her diary. Sometimes you have to appear crazy to achieve justice. When they read the lines inside the notebook, the truth would come out, but it was already too late. 3 months later, in another city, living under another name, Selene was writing a new novel. This time the subject, how to commit the perfect murder. Nobody had helped her. She wouldn't trust anyone anymore either. But she was free. While sitting in a cafe, a young girl at the next table was crying. "Nobody believes me," she was saying. Selene smiled. Maybe a new story was beginning. What about you? If nobody had helped you, would you have established your own justice like Selene? Or fade out?